Recently, I reviewed the Morel Avira floor standing speakers. Overall, they were without surprises. Miro Mordechai has once again proven that the highest quality products come from under his wing. It doesn't matter what it is. Car speakers known worldwide, subwoofers that drop to low frequencies, almost to the depths of the Mariana Trench, or even high-end like a fat lady. But still, questions about the 633 model remain, and the first is the description on Russian language websites, which stated that it is a three-way speaker. I didn't argue with the industry guru, but after the analysis, I was still surprised by this fact. The second point was that in the video, which I strongly recommend watching, I was unable to access the crossover and fully appreciate the ideas of the Israeli engineers. I hope we can address this issue today, friends. Stay with us, because at the end we will, of course, open up these speakers, look at the drivers, the internals, and I hope we will get to the crossover. Before an act, a prelude is needed. Let us go over the technical specifications. 2 drivers, 2-way, acoustic design with a bass reflex port, located at the back, and it's quite straightforward because we know that, for example, with KEF, it is very cleverly designed. There it is soft, but here, there is nothing like that. And again, like with Bowers, where the port is cut with grooves, similar to a golf ball, which supposedly improves air turbulence. Again, there is nothing like that here. Well, it is generally considered that this is quite sufficient, friends. The frequency range is from 40 to 20,000 Hertz. The sensitivity is 89 dB, which in my opinion is still a bit low. The crossover frequency is 2200 Hertz and the impedance is 4 ohms. Friends, again, as it seems to me. Well, it's not super friendly for the amplifier. And do you know what is written in the manual? The nominal maximum power is 160,000 watts. Friends, 1,000. Do you really think and believe that these speakers can handle 1,000 watts? Personally, I highly doubt it. Although I constantly say and remind you that the more powerful your amplifier, the more your acoustics will be revealed, the better you will hear it at low volume, with more quality control, as if a big, healthy hand, not like mine, but a real metallic, stone-like hand, will grab everything possible from the acoustics, and the acoustics will have no choice but to produce sound. As for the weight, not very heavy, although, again, the manual states 8 kilograms. And most importantly, the price, $139, $99, $99, What are these prices? $39, $9.90, $99. They might as well have put 99.9 in kopecks. The stands cost 53,000 rubles. Ah, here they are, the stands. And is this expensive at all for, in kopecks, the stands cost 53,000 rubles. And here they are. And is this expensive at all for this side? Such things, I think specifically for these, no, because it looks very expensive and in a unified style. When you place the speaker on this pedestal, it creates a unified, simply stunning looking structure. Take a look, especially from the side. I really like it. Therefore, in this case, the price is justified. I don't really like that branded speakers often sell stands at super high prices. For example, let's take KEF with the same LS50 models. The stands, well, seem a bit expensive to me. And when you sell, by the way, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that I am involved in both selling and setting up home theaters and stereo systems. My store sells all components from the most basic to high-end. We will make the prices super sweet. So often when people buy KEF from me, I offer stands and people tell me it's expensive. Expensive because we will buy it cheaper. You have to understand that, of course, you can buy cheaper, but first it won't match the style. And second, branded stands just fit all the parameters. I really hope that the engineers who developed the acoustics also designed and constructed these very stands, and altogether, it should deliver maximum harmony. Before the review, I read an independent test about the 622 model. The publication is extremely authoritative. So, it was mentioned that there are no damping or sound-absorbing materials inside the enclosure. The idea is to use the cabinet itself, its curves, and additional structural elements to combat those standing waves and reflections inside the cabinet that any audiophile hates. But you won't argue, friends, that all of this negatively affects the sound. If you do, write in the comments. I will be happy to hear from you. In the meantime, we will check if there is anything inside besides the drivers, curves, and various tricks from the far-sighted engineers. It's no wonder that Morel sells his drivers worldwide. Look at how cleverly the diffuser is made using the one-piece system. Please do not confuse it with the series about pirates, Pokemon, dinosaurs, and porn stars. I hope you haven't watched it. The point is that the cap of the central part is not glued. As you can see, it is intact. What are the advantages? It definitely won't come off and theoretically will provide better response in the mid-range and bass, making the sound faster and more neutral. Looking ahead, I will say that they generate music that is generally correct in terms of tonal balance, while being quite refined. You'll hear it yourself. After all, this side panel is very cool. You just want to touch it, feel these curves. We will now test them. Let's say, not for durability, but to see how everything is made inside. For this, we unscrew. So, oops, there's a little speaker is coming out. Here it is. Look closely, just like on the Polish ones. 6B, made in Israel, handcrafted. And now let's very carefully and gently disconnect it from the system. Make sure to follow the same procedure as before to avoid any issue. Absolutely. Not very heavy, but well made. You can see the spider on the coils and this clever driver itself, which is a single unit. There are no tricks in the suspension, unlike the KEF Q150 and above. A solid, good quality speaker. But we know that the founders, let's say friends, there were 3 of them, Morel and 2 others, who later created Dinaudio and ScanSpeak. The guys from ScanSpeak, of course, have advanced the furthest, because it is their creations that are found in the coolest audio systems. But that's not my opinion. Many consider Wilson Audio to be top-notch, but it is actually ScanSpeak that is used in Wilson's. Well, in general, tinkerers are people who can't find a way to use their strength and energy, so they are constantly making something. They also love ScanSpeak, CS. So the last one, carefully remove it, and wait. The holy of holies of any incredibly advanced acoustic system. This is, of course, undoubtedly the VCH. They are close in weight, and the most advanced acoustic system available in the market today. This tweeter really commands respect. Look at the other side. It's enclosed, massive, and extremely thin. I can see right through it. I don't know if the camera allows you to see this texture. The speaker, if anyone is interested, is MDT30NF. To see the crossover, because I am already prepared. Handcraft again with the Balmoral speaker. If anyone is interested in the MDT30NF to see the crossover, because I am already prepared, unscrewing this part, which unfortunately during the test and disassembly of the floor standers did not yield to me because one of the screws got stuck. So here, thank God, you don't need to unscrew this part. Everything is visible from here. As you can see, contrary to what was written in one publication that there would be no damping material, it is here, and there is quite a lot of it. The panels are thick, but by the way, approximately the same as those of the KEF Q150, around 150-350. In my opinion, the crossover is very well made. First of all, notice how neatly it is assembled and the components used. What a large copper coil. Relatively simple, but it commands respect. Well done, Israelis, well done. So, apparently, the combination of these factors results in such a mature sound. No wonder it has such a price. You heard it yourselves, friends. they were, you know, more accurate, more refined, yet more expansive and more powerful. Although, again, if we are comparing floor-standing speakers with our bookshelf speakers, the floor-standing ones that I tested recently, what can I say? What is the difference between them? In terms of high frequencies and overall soundstage, there is practically no difference, but when it comes to delivery and sound wave, floor-standing speakers definitely have a much larger presence. The bass is more accurate, deeper, and it feels like you are getting more sound information. The soundstage also seems wider for some reason. However, I must repeat, when it comes to high frequencies, I can't recall any noticeable difference. Therefore, if you want to save money and you like the signature Morel sound, then of course you can buy the bookshelf speakers. However, if we add the cost of the stands, it roughly evens out. Well, I don't see the point in buying like this here. It's better to get floor-standing speakers. If you want to save money, really save a lot, then you know you should go for KEF, because the Q150 and Q350 are very cool in their segment. But undoubtedly, they differ greatly in sound. Moreover, I tested the Morel speakers with my signature tracks. I think I will soon make a video where I go through all my test tracks. So Rammstein's latest album was excellent. Excellent for our heroes. The song and the second to last and the last one are just mega cool. Again, George Michael, my favorite album, Older, whether it's Jesus to a Child, Fast Love, or the songs from Older. George Michael sounds perfect on Morel because they let you truly feel his spirit. Because it has such a soft sound and at the same time a bit honeyed, which KEF does not have. KEF is much more rigid and aggressive, while Morel speakers gently caress you. It depends on what you prefer, being punished or being pampered and cherished. So choose accordingly. And here the cost is significantly higher, but this acoustics will definitely find its client, it will find its buyer, because if you listen to it, if you look at it, if you set up a home theater with it, it is quite possible, especially since there is also a central channel. And you can easily build a classic 5.1, 7.1 or 9.1 system, add a subwoofer, and you'll have an amazing home theater that is both highly refined and punchy.